So obviously it is no secret that I've been testing out a lot, and I mean a lot, of meal kit delivery services over the last several months. And we thought it was time to put them all together in a best list, so I've got a lot of different categories for you in today's video. Hey, how's it going? This is Owen and I'm with CNET.com. Don't forget to look down below in the description. We have a lot of information about all the meal kits that I've tested so far down there, including probably some discount codes if you want to try out one for yourself. And just so you're aware, only the meal kits that I have personally tested and cooked with are going to be represented in this video. We might do some more in the future, and maybe we'll have an update to this video later on, but if there's a meal kit that you love that I haven't tested, that's probably why it's not on the list. And also, just so you're aware, all of the opinions expressed are my own. No one paid for a spot on this list or paid me to say good things about them. It was just what I tested, what I observed, and what I think about them. So let's just get into the list itself now, and we're gonna start with what I'm calling the best tasting meal kit. And if you watched my review of Blue Apron, you probably guessed that this belongs here. Of all the meal kits I've tested, two of the most standout recipes came from Blue Apron. That French toast that I was raving about for so long is one of the absolute best tasting breakfast dishes I've ever had, better than even most restaurants. And speaking of better than restaurants, the pork schnitzel recipe I had was the absolute best that I have tasted in all of my meal kit delivery service testing. It was better than the schnitzel I had at an authentic German restaurant. It was just insanely good. The biggest thing I observed with Blue Apron recipes is that they always had a little element that would bring the dish over the top and really make it something that I wouldn't normally create at home. Just little tiny details that make a dish special. Blue Apron seemed to have that in spades with every single dish that I tried. Plus, I was able to try their heat and eat meals, which were easily some of the best microwave meals I've ever tasted. Blue Apron also goes to great lengths to make sure that all of their ingredients are certified USDA organic, which I don't put a ton of stock in, but a lot of people do, and you should be covered with pretty much every single ingredient if you order with Blue Apron. Now, Blue Apron is a bit more expensive. It's tied for the most expensive of the ones that I've tested. You're looking at about $12 per serving, which is roughly the price you're probably gonna pay at a decent restaurant. Although the food is just super high quality, I don't think you'll be disappointed if you go with Blue Apron. I know I wasn't. Next up on the list, we have what I'm calling the most options or most variety meal kit delivery service, and that's actually gonna go to Sunbasket. One of the primary features of Sunbasket is that you can get substitutions for virtually any of their recipes to fit in whatever specialty diet you might follow. You have options for paleo, you have options for pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. So no matter what diet you follow, there's a good chance you're gonna be covered with Sunbasket. Now, depending on what kind of diet you follow, you'll probably be putting in some work on the front end when you're checking out, because you'll have to read every recipe and then make the necessary substitutions. But the fact that you have so many available options with Sunbasket, I think makes it a really compelling option. Like Blue Apron, all of their ingredients are certified organic, and if there happens to be an ingredient that isn't organic, they will let you know, so you could replace it with something in your own fridge if you care that much about organic food. Also, Sunbasket seem to have the most eco-friendly packaging. All of the recipes are neatly packed in these paper bags, which paper bags are much easier to recycle than plastic bags. Plastic bags are recyclable depending on where you live, and where I live, they're not really easy to recycle. So having the paper with Sunbasket was really nice, and a lot of their ingredients that were pre-prepared, like sauces and stuff, would come in these pretty nice containers that I've actually been using ever since, even though I tested it out a couple months ago. Even though in my testing, Sunbasket didn't really stand out to me in terms of taste, they tasted really good. All of these tasted really good. That's kind of one thing you're gonna get with any meal kit delivery service, so I wouldn't really worry about that. And if you follow some kind of specialty diet, Sunbasket's probably the way to go. Unless you are vegan. If you're vegan, then the no-brainer answer is purple carrot. 100% of everything you get in a purple carrot box is going to be totally plant-based. So it really takes the guesswork out of your meal kit delivery selection if you're vegan going with purple carrot. If you're going with Sunbasket, you'll have to make all these substitutions and just double check everything to make sure that you're not getting anything not vegan in your box. But with Purple Carrot, it's just that easy. And what I found the most impressive about Purple Carrot is that even as someone omnivorous who eats meat and dairy still, the meals were insanely good in terms of flavor. The gochujang veggie bowls that I had were actually one of the standout dishes of all the meal kits that I tested. I think even for someone like me, you'll probably be satisfied with Purple Carrot recipes. Maybe you want to introduce more vegan recipes into your diet. This is a really good way to do it. Or if you just want some super high quality vegan meals, Purple Carrot is just a fantastic option for you. They are about as expensive as Purple Carrot and Sunbasket, so you're not paying anything extra to have a vegan meal kit. Next up on the list, we have what I'm calling my best overall choice. This is one that maybe if you're not really familiar with meal kits, you want to try one out, that I think is just going to check pretty much every single box for you, and that's going to be Home Chef. The first thing about Home Chef is that it is more affordable than the first three that I've talked about, so there's a bit less of a barrier to entry. I will say Home Chef didn't necessarily win in any one category aside from their instruction cards. Having high quality instruction cards is really important if you are getting a meal kit delivery service, because if you can't easily prepare the recipes that they send you, that's going to be a big problem. I didn't really run into any issues with any of the meal kits that I've tested, but the instructions for Home Chef definitely stood out. One thing that I love about the instruction cards from Home Chef is that they all feature a difficulty rating, so when you're checking out, you can pick from easy recipes, intermediate, or advanced. And I think that's a nice way to kind of judge your cooking skill / comfort level in the kitchen. So if you can complete an advanced recipe in the time frame that they estimate it takes, then you're probably doing better than you think you are. They also have a nice freshness rating, so when you get your meals, you can kind of plan out which ones you should cook first based on the ingredients in the bag. And the meals from Home Chef tasted fantastic. They were actually fairly close to Blue Apron and Purple Carrot in terms of taste, and they just do a really solid job at pretty much everything. They have a ton of variety. You should be able to accommodate vegetarians and some other specific types of diets, not really vegan as much. So I just think Home Chef checks pretty much all the boxes, even if it doesn't necessarily win in categories aside from instructions. Me personally, if my partner who I live with wasn't vegan and Purple Carrot made the most sense, then I'd probably go with Home Chef, in large part because you just can't really go wrong with it, especially considering its lower price point in comparison to some others. And speaking of price point, we have our most affordable meal kit, and that's going to be EveryPlate. You should expect to pay somewhere around $5 a serving for EveryPlate, which makes it extremely affordable in comparison to Home Chef, which is even more affordable than the first three we talked about on this list. So if you're looking to save a lot of money, but you still want a meal kit delivery service, then EveryPlate's a fantastic option. And one thing I was impressed with EveryPlate is that I didn't really notice a significant dip in quality of the ingredients in comparison to some of the others. I will say that EveryPlate does not have organic ingredients, so if that's something you care about, then EveryPlate's not really gonna be for you. But for myself, like I said before, I don't really care that much about having organic ingredients, and the meals themselves tasted really, really good. And despite being so affordable, the recipes themselves I didn't think were too simplistic. I think toasting panko breadcrumbs and butter and buffalo sauce isn't really something a lot of people normally do in the kitchen, and it featured more premium ingredients like scallops in there in some of the recipes. So I was just pretty impressed with the quality to price ratio with EveryPlate. And then we have what I'm calling the best entry-level meal kit delivery service, and it's actually gonna be Dinnerly. The pricing of EveryPlate and Dinnerly is actually virtually the same, so you're not gonna be saving any money going with one or the other. The reason I think Dinnerly is gonna be your best entry-level option though is because they have more variety available than EveryPlate. They have something like 40 plus recipes a week, while EveryPlate has closer to 20. And I found the recipes from Dinnerly to just be a bit more simplistic, which if you're looking for something more entry level, isn't necessarily a bad thing. They have categories of recipes that require no knives whatsoever. You don't have to slice anything. And I just found in my testing that the Dinnerly recipes were really easy to put together and still tasted quite good. None of the recipes really blew me away in terms of taste, but they all tasted really, really good, and I'd be happy to eat them on a nightly basis. And considering the price point of Dinnerly being roughly $5 a serving, and just how easy they are to put together, it's probably a really nice option for someone who doesn't have a lot of time and wants to have some home cooked meals. Again, there's gonna be a ton of information about each and every meal kit linked for you down below in the description if you want more details, including the individual video reviews that I've done for all 6 of these. And we should have some discounts down there as well for the first week. And that's a really nice way to test out a meal kit to see if you actually like it or not. But let us know what you think. Write us down below in the comments. Is there a meal kit delivery service that you want us to test that we haven't done yet? Make sure you let us know. We'll make sure and do that. If you found this video helpful or interesting in any way, make sure you give it a thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel. But that's enough for me. This is Owen with CNET Home. I'll see you in the next one.